Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Iron Icon, where we go around the ecosystem and interview our builders. And with us today, a show regular, Geo Dude from GPS Gaming. How are you today, man?
Hey fellas, how's it going? It's been quite a while.
It has been a while. I almost forgot. I thought you forgot about us, but you haven't, have you?
No, I'm still here. I've been hard at work and dealing with a couple of life things and stuff.
Look, Geo, you're sounding very muffled. What's going on here?
I'm not. Hold on a second. Let me fix that.
Face reveal.
There we go. How's it going?
Good. Finally get to see you, even with the helmet on. SuperNode Racing. Oh, look, that must mean something.
Oh yeah, look, SuperNode Racing right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So
gotta get in the style of the game here for this interview.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thanks for actually revealing yourself. This is a first, isn't it?
Yeah, this will be the first time I appear on a camera for anything Icon related.
Yeah. And then okay, so now it makes sense why it's so distorted with the helmet. And how's it feeling there? Is it cozy? Has it made you change?
It's about 250 degrees, and I'm sweating my ass off. But opening the visor definitely helped a bit. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this mic thing a little bit better as we go along here. I don't know how these guys do it. They definitely have a lot of protection. I mean, this is a real helmet. It's got all the padding. It's very secure. I can go run my head into a wall and be safe.
Do you want to demonstrate? I don't know.
No, okay.
Look, no, man, awesome. Okay, look, thanks for coming on the show, man. Today is all about SuperNode Racing, and it's been a while. I know the project has been evolving, and you guys have been building. So I thought, to kick things off, as usual, Gio, do you want to give a quick overview about what the game is and what you're building?
Yeah, of course. No, that's a perfect way to start this off since it has been a while. So SuperNode Racing is a blockchain-based game, though it will be accessible from the general public as well. That's one of the goals we had from the start, which is you don't need to know about crypto to play the game. Like it's going to have a free car where you can race this car and you can actually start earning, what you view as in-game currency, but really it will be crypto backend. And this is sort of going to be our way of kind of getting around those crypto, rules from Apple and Android and stuff. It's like, well, they're not using crypto. It's in-game currency. But in the back end, our servers will, of course, be keeping track of your actual cryptocurrencies. So it's just kind of a way to kind of be like, you know what, we're going to tackle both ends. We're going to have the front, the general public that just enjoys playing games. And we're going to have the crypto people that really love cryptocurrency type NFT games and that kind of stuff. So that's the basis of SuperNode Racing. It's a racing car management game where you get to own your own racing cars. You get to build them up with parts. You get to level up those parts. You get to race the cars against, the computer or against other people, for prizes and money and all that kind of stuff. And then what's really, fascinating is if you determine how deep you want to get into SuperNode Racing. And the deepest you can go is actually to own NFT businesses in the game itself. And, I know we'll talk about those in a little bit, but really, SuperNode Racing is an all-encompassing type of system where it is player run, where the players own the businesses. They kind of set the prices, within a limitation. They get funded, from the game itself every week. If they own, like, say, a gas station, they have the ability to purchase a certain amount of gas, or if they own a mechanic shop, they get a certain amount of parts every week, random. And so it kind of helps feed their stores and feed the game while the players kind of keep going and kind of push the game forward.
Okay, cool. So let's I was thinking, let's walk through it from the start. So as a user, you mentioned, Android apps and stuff. So sign in, log in via email, so you don't necessarily need a wallet.
So you will register an account, and we will automatically create you a Snow wallet, because we're going to be launching on the Snow network for Icon. We're hopefully going to be one of the first games to launch on there. The timing seems about right. I know some of the other games were completed beforehand, so they kind of had to launch on other chains like Harmony and stuff, which is completely understandable. If Snow's not ready, you're not going to wait 6 months to launch. So SuperNode Racing is kind of the launch date is kind of set towards the round where Snow is going to be launched. So it's going to be kind of a perfect timing in that regard. And so we hope to launch it in conjunction with Snow. And then you'll have your ICZ, I think, or an ICY. I forget which ones are which for Snow. But needless to say, the whole point is it will be what's called a shared custody wallet, meaning the server is going to know your private key and you're going to know your private key, but that's because it's going to stop us from having to ask you to sign every transaction, that we want to do, such as selling, buying, all that kind of stuff. And now we will have, obviously, security on the servers. We will run audits against them, paid audits from companies, external companies, and all that kind of stuff. But that's the point, is it's a shared custody wallet, and you will be able to remove funds from it, add funds to it. It's all up to you. Obviously, if you don't have the funds to do something, then you won't be able to do it in the game. But, it's easily, the point is we don't want to have the player have the inconvenience of having to literally sign every transaction, every event that they want to do. So
and when they sign up, it's essentially creating a new wallet. So even if users are worried about their private keys, etc., well, it's a new wallet and it's managed within the game, so you can keep that wallet separate to your personal wallet that you may have.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is awesome. Okay, cool. So great. I've signed up, and next step. You mentioned you get anyone who signs up gets a car, like getting a car.
The way it'll work is once you sign up, you have access to the game, and you can access the marketplace. You can access all this kind of stuff. But if you just say you want to race without having to pay anything, then you have access to what's called our community NFT. And that car, you'll be able to race a certain amount of times per day and a certain amount of times per week. And you can accomplish quests, or missions, called missions. To earn, in-game currency, to earn the wrench tokens, all that kind of stuff. And with that, you'll be able to slowly build up your stash without even having to pay anything, just by racing the free car and interacting with the game. Now, there obviously will be other avenues, such as sharing on social media. That will, that's one of our features that we've touted, which is called Engage to Earn. So the more you engage, our content on social media, the more that we will reward you, in the game. So that way you earn, in-game tokens and, all that kind of stuff by just doing and spending time, playing the game and marketing the game and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So you get for limited time uses of the car, but you can also purchase, if you want, NFT, which is different types of cars.
Yeah, so the NFT cars are actually technically called car shells, and they are the visible representation of the cars themselves. And right now we currently have 8 different shells, and they all have a different rarity. During our pre-sale, you'll have the chance to be able to buy our random crate, which will contain a car shell, some random car part crates, which you won't be able to open yet, and then some SuperNode gas, for storing and that kind of stuff. So that way you're ready when the game comes out. You will know which car shell you get, because it will display the car shell when you open your random crate when you purchase it during our pre-show. And then there will be an auction system as well, where you can just bid directly on the car shell if you don't want to have a random chance or whatever. And then there will even be a gotcha game, which is even cheaper but less chance to get like really good stuff. So I mean, the pre-sale, I think we're aiming about $150 per crate. Auction is going to be, depending on the car shell, the auctions are going to be different prices. And then the gotcha, I think we're aiming at like $5 per try or something like that. So really, cheap, try it a couple times, and you could literally win one of the BTC shells, which is going to be one of 21 that will ever exist in the game. And those are the Formula One racer car looking ones. And you can win one of those just for $5 on the gotcha system. I mean, it's just completely random, very small chance. But that's the point, is if you don't want to spend $150 and you just want to, you got $5 in your pocket and you want to take a risk, you can win, anything from the BTC car down to some SuperNode gas.
Okay. So there will be certain. So this example you gave of the BTC car, there'll be uh, variations of cars that come in limited quantities, and that's what will create a bit of exclusivity around the NFTs, the cars you can
Correct.
hold.
Yeah. So we sort of approached this like the way the current market cap was at the time that we approached it, where it went BTC, S, and then we kind of went down a couple, and we got like near or what we call our Axie Infinity car, and then we got ICX, and then we got even Snow car, and then we're down to like XRP and all that kind of. So we got a bunch of different options, which all have different rarities and different supplies to start.
Okay, cool. So that's a good intro about the start. Now, you mentioned as you were giving. Actually, I wanted to ask the whitelist. So we see a lot of whitelist process. Get on the whitelist. Do you want to talk a little bit about how your whitelist process is going to work?
Yeah, for sure. So our first, what we called our OG whitelist, is actually closed. That was an open whitelist for the first couple months because we wanted to, get our really true supporters, the ones that heard about us early and knew, like we're mostly on Icon because that's where we kind of grew from, as the Icon chain. So we wanted our real, OG supporters to have the original whitelist, and we have about 250 of those. And then we have what we call our second whitelist, which is now in the process of growing because we're doing contests, giveaways. If you participate in, we'll do one here where we'll give away, 20 random NFT spots to people who comment or like on your video. So, that's a good alpha right there. So make sure you guys comment or like on the video, and you'll have your chance at a second whitelist spot. If you participate in our fireside chats that we have every now and again, kind of where we just kind of shoot the shit on our Discord server, people can ask questions about SNR. People can ask questions about, anything, any other game that I'm working on, or just crypto in general. Right now, everything's a mess. So if you just want to come and air your grief or grieve your errors, like I think I did that the other day with a couple of guys on the fireside chat. We all kind of, we're discussing the market and what we thought of, I think it was Luna at the time that just had its craziness and everything. And so it was just like, I gave my opinions because, I have a lot of them, and I was open to hearing other people's, and that's what it kind of is. It's not really like an AM, or it's kind of, I guess, an AMA, but it's like just an open chat for people to come and talk. So.
Yeah. No. Okay. Awesome. Good to hear. And okay, so now in your Discord, I noticed, you have different sections that is like paint shops, mechanic shop, PNR center, and then you made this comment about in-game businesses. So, do you want to talk through? So we know basics. You get the car, you're going to race, and you earn stuff. Then there's other mechanics at play as well. Do you want to run through one by one how they fit into the ecosystem? And then I'm going to probe you a little bit to understand how the economy aspect of it works. So shall we start with the famous gas stations? No, actually, let's leave that for last year because, let's leave the best for last. Do we want to kick it off with paint shops? What is that? How will it work?
Yeah, sure. Actually, paint shops is something that we really did start talking a lot about recently on our Discord. We showed some screen grabs of what we have in mind for the paint shop, and we came across a hurdle that we had to make a decision on. Do we want to let the players, or the paint shop owners, do in-game creation, meaning like where they had to freehand draw on the car models and all this kind of stuff? And that was just like too complex, especially if you're talking about like a mobile game. To try to get like anything decent, it would just be ridiculous. And to really create a good in-game system like that would take a long time. So instead, what we decided is we're going to have an external system where you will have these templates. And I can actually show you guys here. I'm going to put up a screen share here of what a template actually looks like. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So this right here, this is a B&B car template. And as you can see, from the yellow, it's kind of the B&B colors, yellow, black, and gray, some carbon fiber stuff here. And these parts are all individual parts of the car. So like right here is the hood part, this is the roof part, these are some fenders. And as you can see, I've actually already put images on of my NFTs. This is one of my Wonder Game NFTs. This is my Gangster Bed. And then we have a SuperNode logo on the front of it. And this is what we're actually going to be able to customize and then upload to our website, or, you know, to a paint shop on through our website, which will then, that paint shop owner, the person who owns that NFT and who selected that they wanted to own a paint shop, they have the privilege and the responsibility to go through the submissions and approve the submissions that are valid. Meaning, we're going to hold those paint shop owners to very strict standards, because we as a game need to fall within certain terms of service. We can't have corporate logos, trademark logos. We can't have pornography. We can't have, you know, a lot of some vulgar words, you know, that kind of stuff. So the paint shop owners are going to have to follow our terms of services as well, in the sense that if they go through the submissions, then if they see something that violates the term of service, they have to reject it. You know, and if they approve something that violates the term of service, they're actually going to be punished for approving that template that violated the terms of service. But now let me show you kind of what it's going to look like on the car when it actually gets applied. So what will happen is, in game, you're going to see these templates on the side, and you're going to really be like, oh, these look really cool. And then you'll be able to view them, what they look like on your car, before you purchase them. So in the game itself, it's going to have the screen, it's going to have your car like on a platform, and then it's going to have an option, like a drop-down box that shows what's available in this paint shop, either from the paint shop owner uploading it, or from him allowing other people to sell through his shop. And that's one of the benefits of owning the paint shop, is you kind of are the art gallery, right? This is kind of how art galleries work, where the owner of the art gallery either takes a commission off of sales, or they take a charge up front for showing your art in their gallery. So it's really going to be an opportunity for someone to own literally a business in our game that they kind of have to actively maintain, because if they don't accept templates, and if they don't actually create any artwork themselves, they're not going to really make any money. So there'd be no point in owning a paint shop if, one, you're not an artistic person, or two, you don't want to actually run the business. So it's not going to be passive income as much as it's what we call active income.
So how many paint shops will be available? Is that number predetermined at the start, or?
So yes, for each NFT, there's going to be a certain maximum that's going to be allowed. Now, the business license NFTs. So each business starts out as a business license NFT, and this is just a generic license NFT that you then can, once you own that business license, you can then either sell it. Obviously, if you want to sell it, say you win it at a tournament, or say you win it in a contest or something, you can sell that business license NFT, and then someone else will get it. So once
right?
In the pre-sale, yes, we will have one business license NFT in the randomized crates. So, you know, and the gotcha system, I think, is what it is. And so it's like, you know, you have a very small chance, but it is there to win a business license NFT. And these will be super limited, because we can't just have a ton of businesses in the game. You know, so we can't have like 100 paint shops. We can't have 100 gas stations, because it'd just be oversaturated. So literally, exactly. we're only gonna release like one or two of each at the start, and these will be stuff that will be either contests or like I said, in the pre-sale. And then we will be reaching out to guilds and asking guilds to reach out to us for the ability to what we call lease a business license NFT from us and run one of the businesses in our game, because we really want to have that guild interaction and that guild performance, you know, kind of in our game to start. So like Icon Penis, and I know there's another one that's I think Andy is part of it. They're pretty big into a Gangster Bet and a couple other games. You know, really, you know, right now we're not encouraging them to reach out to us, but pretty soon, once we get kind of things settled, we'll post an announcement. Maybe we can go through your show again and say, hey, you know, all the NFT guilds, you know, that play games, reach out to us. So, you know, be aware, you know, and you know, we'll let you guys know when that's the time. So needless to say, so after the initial launch of the NFT business license NFTs, we'll be releasing like one a month, pretty much, that will be into an auction. And then you'll have to bid on it at the auction house, and, you know, the winner can resell it, or they can open up their own NFT business. So once you have a business license, then you decide which business do I want to run. Now that's where you're talking about the different businesses. You have the paint shop, you have the mechanic shop, you have the performance and recycling center, you have the gas station. Eventually, come V2 of this game and V3, you'll have a racetrack. You'll have a driver's training, kind of thing where you get drivers and you can sell drivers of cars. That's gonna, there's just so much we can expand our business licenses into that, eventually, it won't like hinder us in the amount of businesses and business licenses that we have.
Okay. Yep. Cool. That's pretty awesome. So the paint shops, understand. So then the mechanic shop. So how would this be used? Is it for upgrades of the cars internally?
So that's exactly it. Is the mechanic shop is where you go to upgrade your parts. And the level of the mechanic shop, I mean, you can upgrade the parts on your own, but it's going to cost more, and you're going to have less likely of a chance of getting like a special upgrade, so like an extra, lucky upgrade. So if you use a mechanic shop, depending on the level of the mechanic shop, and this is also where the active income comes from, is these shops will all have levels. And depending on the level will depend on the discount, will depend on the luck factor. For the mechanic shop, you actually have a shop that goes with the mechanic shop where you'll get a certain number of parts every week randomly dropped into your shop from the game itself that your shop will be selling, and you actually get a percentage of those sales. So just owning a mechanic shop, you get these random parts, and it could be common, it could be rare, it could be whatever, and they'll be set based on the rarity. The price will be set on the rarity, and then when they sell, you actually get a percentage of those sales. And it just cycles every week. So, people keep coming to your shop every week looking for new parts. What new parts do you have? And then as the mechanic shop owner, you can also add parts to your own shop, that you purchase, like say from the auction house, you get something for cheap. You can put it in your own shop and put it for a certain price. And then, people can buy it from there and you can display it. So it's not just on the marketplace with everything else.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, what are these PNR centers?
So the performance and recycling center. So this is actually a key factor of the game. And the one thing that a lot of games, like NFT games, or even just real games like World of Warcraft even, what they don't do is they don't have a very cyclical system. What they do is they have a system that you can get a ton of items, really cool items, but then you really can't do anything with them once you get them. And once they're like not very rare anymore, you kind of just like, okay, you try to sell in the marketplace, or it's just junk, and it just crowds up the marketplace. It crowds up, your backpack. You either destroy it and it just goes away or whatever, and it just becomes useless. So you didn't want anything in this game to become useless. So what the Performance and Recycling Center does, it allows you to take like say 10 common parts and combine them into an uncommon part at a certain percentage. Now, the lower the rarity and the lower the tier, the higher percentage you're going to get. Now, again, based upon the level of the Performance and Recycling Center is going to be based on that luck factor. So the higher the level of the Performance and Recycling Center, the higher the luck factor. Now, what the owner of the Performance and Recycling Center can do is they set the prices on how much it costs to combine stuff. So if they're at level 1, they'll probably have very cheap prices because they're not going to offer very lucky, rolls. But if they're at level 5, they're going to be like much higher in the luck factor, so they can bump their prices up. So now it becomes a game of, how much do people want to pay to upgrade something to be almost guaranteed. So say the level 5 gets you an 89% guarantee and the level 1 gets you like a 75% guarantee. But the level 5 costs 10 ICX and the level 1 costs 1 ICX. So it's like, do you want to risk the 1 ICX for 75% or just guarantee it, pretty much almost guarantee at the 10 ICX?
And how
go ahead.
Yep, no, sorry. So how did the store owners, the people who own the licenses, upgrade their shops?
So let me get into that, but real quick, let me finish off the performance and recycling, because that's only the performance part. When you can upgrade parts, that's the performance, because you're upgrading. Recycling is where you can take your parts and destroy them for what is called wrench tokens. Now, this is exactly what you're talking about. Wrench tokens are used to upgrade parts. They're used to upgrade shops. They're used to upgrade everything. That's what wrench tokens are used for. So that's the in-game currency. Now it is a cryptocurrency as well, but it's going to be used. It's one of the. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3 in-game currencies. So there's wrench tokens, which you can trade, you can sell, you can do anything with.
Yeah.
Then there's creds, which we call street creds. Those are the actual money. So when you actually do like a credit card purchase, or you want to send over some in-game currency or trade your ICZ, because what we're going to do is creds is going to be based off a stable coin. So one cred is always going to equal $1. And that's the point, is that it's like a set amount of money. Because when you purchase something from, like, say, you buy an in-game credit pack for $10, then you'll get 100 creds. So a cred will be 10 cents or whatever at that point, right? Or a penny, or whatever it is. It's going to be a certain set amount, so that way it's always the same amount no matter what. And that's actually the one that's going to be linked with the in-game money, when like Apple or Android or whatever, and the cryptocurrency cred, which then you can sell and move over to exchanges and exchange for ICZ or whatever. Whereas wrench tokens and SuperNode gas, I guess wrench tokens you can do that too, but it's mostly used in game. That's the point of wrench tokens. Creds are just used to purchase shells, parts, that kind of stuff. Wrench tokens are actually used for upgrading. Like, it's actually like the closest that you can imagine is the gangster bet token, where you use it to upgrade your gangsters. That's what wrench tokens are in SuperNode Racing, where you use it to upgrade the parts and the shops. And then SuperNode gas, this is what connects us to the final NFT business, which is the gas stations. And the gas stations are where you can sell or buy SuperNode gas, because you need SuperNode gas to race your cars. That's going to be one of the things that limits, and again, everything's cyclical in our game, is everything's being minted and burned so that there's really no waste. So, but SuperNode tokens, you will not be able to transfer between wallets, and you will not be able to sell anywhere except the gas stations. And this is where gas stations are kind of like regulated entities, where the players get to set the price, and it has like an algorithm. So, they have to be their own LP in a sense. They have to be their own liquidity provider. They have to provide both the creds and the SuperNode tokens. So that way, if someone wants to come and sell SuperNode tokens for creds, they can do that at whatever price. Now, if they say someone comes and sells 100 SuperNode tokens to creds, well, now the next person is going to get slightly less creds for the SuperNode tokens, because again, it's all algorithmic that fluctuates and balances it to where the person says, this is kind of the average I want to have. Yeah. And now, of course, there's going to be a couple different gas stations. So now they're kind of competing with each other, just like normal gas stations do. Oh, do you want higher price, lower price, that kind of thing. And the level of the gas station is going to also determine how much of a discount they can get when they're purchasing gas for the week. So gas station owners will be able to purchase SuperNode tokens at a discount depending on the level of their gas from the game.
Yeah. Okay. And what about, so with, obviously, to race they need gas, but in the instance where they have the free car and the limited race.
Yeah, so the free car will not be using SuperNode gas. You will actually get some SuperNode gas and some wrench tokens when you race the free car. So it's kind of a way of helping people kind of get into the game, and get a little bit honestly, even if you owned a shell, you can still race the free car to get a little bit of gas and a little bit of wrench tokens. Yeah. So it kind of just encourages people to just play the game more.
Well, so is the free car, in terms its racing success, would it be as successful as buying a car and upgrading it, or can you upgrade the free car?
No, so you will not be able to upgrade the free car. The free car is just set at what it is. It's just a shared NFT. It's kind of like, it's held by our admin wallet, but it allows anyone to race with it. So you won't be able to upgrade it or anything, but you can race it against computer. You can race it against opponents if you want to, but really I wouldn't, because it's probably going to lose because it's the lower end of the cars. But the goal is to race it against computers on different tracks, on different, because our missions are going to be like race 10 times on this track, race 10 times on that track, beat a certain time limit, on a race, because we have 3 different categories of races. We have drag race, street race, and then timed race, meaning, it's how fast you can get through the race. So yeah, and then we're going to have a ladder for every month. The person who has the lowest amount of time getting through, gets, first the 10 people at the top or whatever get a prize for that month or something like that. So yeah, now I know we kind of have merged in talking about races now, even though we were NFTs. But yeah, so I mean, there's just so much to this game. It's like, do you want to play the game in terms of just racing, or do you want to, own a business, or do you want to, just upgrade your car? Do you want to just stylize your car? Because that's part of this too. That we think that's going to be a huge attraction, is people coming in and creating these custom templates where, it's just like literally, I mean, I've seen some amazing artists in this space, in the NFT space especially. I mean, they could probably come and create some amazing artwork for these cars and sell it for hundreds to thousands. I mean, could you imagine if like Bansky comes in and creates like a piece of art, and I mean, sells it for $1 million on a game or something? I mean, I mean, that's the thing. It's just so open to anyone coming in, creating art, and then selling it. And, obviously, so each car is going to have a different template. So you will have to create the artwork for each template. So you kind of will have to focus. Do I want it for the BTC car, which only a couple people are going to have? Or do I want it for the low end car, which a bunch of people are going to have? So you kind of, you do your own thing. But that's where the, person who owns the paint shop has the advantage, is they can upload their own artwork and kind of, they can have, so the way this works is the paint shop owner has artwork that they can set a supply for. So they can say, this paint job, I want to sell 100 of at 10 ICX or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, a normal person can't do that. If they upload it to the paint shop, they just get one of that artwork. They just get that one template. So if they want to make a deal with the paint shop owner and say, hey, I want to make the deal with you, I want to upload this, but I want you to upload it and create like 100 supply, then the paint shop owner says, okay, sure, but I want 50%. So that's where owning the paint shop takes precedence over just submitting artwork to the paint shop.
And the owners of the paint shop, for example, if there's a lot of demand, they could then opt to sell that paint shop for profit to someone else as well.
Exactly. And the higher the level, that's the thing, is like, as long as they work towards improving the paint shop, to making it better, they can easily, again, resell it later in the future. And it's not just like an NFT that grows in value for no reason. It's actually an asset that you improve upon, and you spent time and money and effort to actually grow, that you can then sell for more money.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So now you touched on the racing. Just very quickly, is still V1 planned where you don't actually race? The racing is simulated, isn't it? Based on stats, etc.
Correct. So in V1, initial launch of our game, it's going to be AI controlled, and it's going to be based on blockchain algorithm that's going to do your stats against the opponent's stats. And then throughout it, so what it does is it creates what I call a storyboard of a race. And it just has a bunch of checkpoints of how the cars race against each other and what positions they're in. And it's pretty cool how it's actually created. Our developers, did an amazing job of this. And like the cars actually will pass each other and then come back and pass each. So it's like very dynamic, and it's driving and racing visual style. So it almost creates this movie-like script of this car is going to do this car's going to do that, and then applies it to the race, and then you see the cars take off and actually race the race.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I think
now we do plan. So V1's very focused on the economy. That's kind of our goal, is to get the economy set, get people into businesses, get people into cars, get them upgrading, all this kind of stuff. And there's gonna be 3 different tiers three different, I guess, I don't want to say tiers because tiers is one of them, but 3 different aspects of levels for the parts. There's going to be the very base, which is called a level. Then there's going to be the rarity, and then there's going to be a tier. So inside of so I guess the rarity is kind of the base. So rarity is going to be common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then there's going to be 5 tiers of that. So tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then each side and each rarity, there's 100 levels So we want to make it where the game, you feel progressive and you feel progress, but we don't want to make it where someone's going to be upgraded to maximum tier, maximum level within like the first couple months. So it will take a while for people to upgrade. And then that's kind of the goal for the first version of the game. And then the second upgrade is actually going to be very focused on the racing aspect, where we're going to allow for player racing. So we're going to have a system in place where you can race your car. So it's actually going to be player skilled, based upon your own skill, and then actually have drivers that you put in your car that have skills. So like handling, braking, so how well they handle the car, how well they handle steering, and that will affect your driving as well. Where like randomly you might be driving, you might be like, yeah, I'm kicking ass, and then all of a sudden your steering wheel just goes, yeah! And you're like, oh, what the heck happened? Well, that's because your driver may not have been very skilled at steering, and it just caused like a random event to happen that caused your car to actually, do what your driver kind of would do. So we think that'll be cool, is that it's not going to just be based on your skill, but it's still going to have some luck factor in terms of the driver.
Okay, cool. And at the moment, are you looking to ship with the Android and Apple version for V1, or?
So that is our goal. Our goal is to actually be mobile and web-based, and mobile app, not just a web app or anything. It will be on the browser for desktops. But our goal is to have the mobile app approved. So we'll see what happens. We still got to get through the approval process. We think we know how to do it. I mean, I actually was a web developer back in the day and had my own, mobile game company. So, I kind of like know the process a bit, and I know it's kind of changed a bit with the whole crypto landscape. So now it's like, okay, what are they going to allow? What are they not going to allow? And so that's why we think our system of having the in-game currency and then the back end having crypto will be different, because it's not like the game itself has cryptocurrency.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Look, I think, Geo, you've covered a ton. Is there any other call outs you wanted to make as we wrap this up?
So in terms of the paint jobs, the custom paint jobs, in July, we will be holding a contest for people to create custom paint jobs for that B&B car. We'll release the PNG template for you to modify and adjust. And then on our website, you'll actually have the ability to upload it and see how it looks, anytime. So you can make an adjustment, upload, see how it looks, make an adjustment. And then eventually, if you're happy with it, you can submit the artwork, and then we'll actually be judging. So our team will pick one, and then the community will vote on one. And the top prizes are going to be, as far as we've decided, we could add more, that the two winners are going to win $1,000 each. Yeah, exactly. And also NFT of the B&B car and an NFT of their custom artwork as well.
You're not going to give a store, given that this is what the club's about, like one store to the
No, that's a little too much. We actually think the stores are going to be in the tens of thousands of dollars eventually. So because of their rarity and their ability to make money. So
I think I haven't drilled in on the concept. It's clicked for me. I love it because take Craft. Okay, Craft is an NFT platform where anyone can create and mint an NFT. Your SuperNode Racing is an application about cars, and in it there'll be, the paint shop is very specific in nature, but it allows any artist who wants to kind of had the dream of, modifying their car, or was great at, those designs and couldn't do it in real life, and that's what they love doing about cars. They can literally come to SuperNode Racing and look at the storefront and go, well, I could make my designs and sell it here to an entire user base who are coming to this game to play and upgrade their cars, which is really cool because
it's a thing that hasn't really been done that I've seen, which is actually allowing people to create their own NFTs.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome. No, looking forward to it. So when did you say in July the comp will start?
July when we announce the contest. Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned. So there's a few announcements. We've got the contest in July. And for people listening to this episode, what are we giving away, Gio?
So 20-second whitelist spots. So make sure to like and comment on this video, and we'll pick 20 random people. And then, you got to join our Discord, and in the Discord, we'll add your role, and then you'll be able to register your Icon wallet. You will need an Icon wallet because our pre-sale is going to be on Icon because Snow isn't out yet. So it's going to be a pre-sale on Icon, and then you'll be able to transfer your Icon assets over to the Snow game once it launches.
Cool. So 20 whitelist spots, like, comment, make sure you're in Discord. Anything else, Geo, we haven't covered today?
Oh, yeah. So the whitelist are actually more than just whitelist. Like the whitelist, we've decided to give some benefits to. And what I mean by that is that the OG, so any of the whitelists that we have are going to get a kickback % on the purchases they make and any referrals that buy under the referral link. So the OG is 15% and the second whitelist is 10%. And so what that means is literally if you put out your referral link and you have people buying with that link, you get 10% of their money that they spend on the pre-sale. And then the other thing we have is we have this tiered level of however much what we call total spent value. So the amount you spend plus the amount of people that your referees spend is the total spent value. We have a tiered list of part crates that you can win, based upon the amount of that the total value is up to literally. I mean, yes, it's expensive and some people complain, but we're actually giving away legendary crates if people can get up to $250,000 total spent. Now, obviously, that seems like a lot, but you got to remember that with the OG whitelist, there's also, I didn't say this, I should say no, don't remember, but here's something else, is that with each whitelist, there's a multiplier applied to your total spent value. So OG whitelists get 2 times, and second whitelist get 1.5 times. So really, the OG whitelist only need 125,000 to get a legendary part crate.
Yep. And when they like and comment, are they getting into the OG whitelist or the second?
No, so the OG whitelist is shut down. That's for
I tried, everyone. I tried.
Yeah, he's trying. So no, the second whitelist where it's 10% kickback, 1.5 times total spent value, and so it's just it's still a great deal. It's better than trying to purchase it publicly and not have any benefits. So make sure you get on that whitelist.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And will the referral links stay post the whitelist sales and stuff like that? So once it's fully loaded, if the game's up and running and I find something.
No, so the referrals are just for the pre-sale.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
We will have some other kind of referral system, which definitely could be whatever someone spends in the game, you get a small percentage of, just like I think they do a lot with poker. Those kind of games where if you refer people and they spend money, you get a percentage.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about poker. It's like, this is super interesting. I said poker. I didn't say all poker.
Cool. Okay, look, that's great. I think anyone who didn't know about SuperNode Racing will know. We can see we've got a face reveal in this episode. Geo was extremely committed to making sure that helmet stayed on.
It is hot in here. It is hot. I am dying right now. So that's commitment for you.
But what an authentic experience. It's like he's been racing this entire time. That's how the audio has been coming through.
Honestly, I think this will help me lose the COVID-20 or whatever it is at now. Help me lose that weight I've gained over COVID. I just shut this and I'll just program like this.
Oh God, could barely hear. No, cool. Look, Geo, really appreciate you coming on the show, and appreciate you donating some whitelist spots to all our listeners. So make sure everyone jumps on the opportunity if you haven't already. I think that's it, Geo. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, it's definitely been too long. I know things have been pretty crazy out there. I'm glad to see you're still here. I know quite a few people that are kind of just moping about and depressed. So, we got to keep pushing forward. It's really about, everyone says it, but it's like the bear market is about building.
Yeah.
Build, and then when the bull market comes, it's going to be, everyone jumping in on those projects that were built. So.
Yeah, exactly. I did wallow a little bit, but now I'm up and about and doing stuff, keeping myself distracted. So, look, Geo, as always, thanks for coming on the show. Everyone, whitelist spots, like, share, subscribe. Let's get this out there. Jump in the SuperNode Racing Discord. In fact, Gio, could I grab a link so I can put it in the show notes?
Yep, I'll send it off. I'll send you both our Telegram and our Discord, even though Telegram we don't really use, but it's where I talk a lot. So
yeah. Excellent. Okay, everyone, take care. Thanks, Gio.
See you guys.